This is the F80 BMW M3. It's a rear-wheel drive family ride with plenty of power, lots of carbon fibre and a smoking habit. It's a super saloon that I recently described as the most perfect car I've ever driven. But is that still the case? Underneath the bonnet we've got a 3-litre turbocharged engine. Now a turbocharged M3 is the first time that it's ever been done, so this car is breaking the rules. It's also breaking the rules in terms of power. There is more of it. 425 brake horsepower, 406 pound-foot of torque. That's more than the V8 that we had last time. 0 to 60 is also 0.5 seconds faster than the old V8. Now takes 4.1 seconds. Flat out, you know, you're limited to 155 standard BMW. It's kind of one of those unassuming cars from the outside. People don't really know what it is. If they don't know much about cars, they'll say, oh, another suit in another BMW. But you've got a bonnet bulge at the front, you've got quad exhaust, you've got massive arches, nice 19-inch wheels with fat rubber. And for those people who do know a little bit about cars, you guys included, you know that this thing is packing some serious heat. Inside the M3 you get leather, cool buttons to change the car's ride, steering and gearbox settings, and a pair of front seats that look sexy and hug you hard. So if you want to drive this like a race car, you just put every single thing into Sport Plus. That makes everything really firm, makes the gearbox very snappy. But on the other hand, if you just want to cruise about, everything just goes into comfort mode, and then it is just a comfortable saloon that you could lug your family about in. Now obviously one of the biggest concerns from going from a V8 to a turbocharged engine is that the noise is going to sound bad, it's going to sound synthetic, it's going to sound horrible, and it's really not going to be much of a turn on. Okay, part of it is being pumped through the speakers, but I can assure you, with the windows down, obviously we can't do it now because of the mic and everything, but with the windows down, the straight 6 is all encompassing. It sounds wicked. Now obviously the M3 does have rivals that are equally amazing to drive, equally powerful, equally mean looking. You've got the RS4, you've got the C63, and also you'll have the new Lexus RCF, which is coming to a showroom soon, and that's another big old V8 with over 400 horsepower. So you'll have 4 really decent contenders in the kind of super coupe, super saloon kind of sphere. For me, it would have to be the M3. It's rear-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive like the RS4. I don't really have much of an affinity with Mercedes. For me, it's always been BMW. I think you're kind of either a BMW or a Mercedes fan. For me, BMW all the way. And out of the 4 of them, it's got to be the M3, and I would pick the M3 over the M4 as well. It just looks so squat and so wide and, you know, unassuming to some, but others who know anything about cars, they will know exactly that this car is packing some serious heat, and that's what I kind of like. It is quite a sleeper. The price for all this power, performance and poise will set you back £55,000 or 2 kidneys, whichever one you can get your hands on first. So how does the M3 stack up against its rivals? Well, the Bimmer's about £1,000 cheaper than the RS4, 3 grand less expensive than the C63, and a healthy 5k lighter on the wallet than the Lexus RCF Coupe. It's also a genuinely comfortable car to drive at 30 miles an hour like I'm doing now, and then if you want to, just knock it down and floor it, and then you're not doing 30 miles an hour. If you think that the M3 is going to be a really old heavy beast, you'd be wrong. Okay, it does weigh slightly over 1,500 kilograms, but weight has been kept down for a number of reasons. The roof, carbon fibre, drive shaft, carbon fibre, and the strut brace on the engine as well, carbon fibre. That is a piece of art. Now the steering on the M3, a lot of work has been done by the M-Boys to make it feel as natural as possible. Obviously this is an electric steering system, and they've done really well. It's actually very heavy. It's typically BMW heavy, and there's no point in the steering wheel that I think, oh god, the electric's kind of packing up a little, which is what you get sometimes in some cars. You know, when you turn it from angle to angle, you get that kind of really weird, either soft or very hard patch in the steering where it like weights up or it gets really loose. It's horrible. And this, haven't noticed. Hopefully in about 10 or 20 years, when I've got enough money, these things will be really affordable, and they will be, god, that'll be a lot of bang for your buck.
So back to my original question, is the M3 still the most perfect car I've ever driven? In short, no. While the M3 looks awesome, it's got nothing on the F-Type's immeasurable sex appeal. It also doesn't sound quite as good as a naturally aspirated V8, despite making the most of its twin turbocharged straight six. What I will say for the M3 then is that it's now the most perfect saloon I've ever driven, and is still in my top 5 of ultimate drivers cars.